I'm on the road to recovery in Castle Rock, Colorado. Live from Millville, New Jersey, I'm on the road to recovery. We're on the road to recovery in Morgantown, West Virginia at Mountaineer Field. And live in Scranton, Pennsylvania, I'm on the road to recovery. Here I am on the road to recovery from Berlin, Maryland. Hey, from Caseville, Michigan, I'm on the road to recovery. I'm on the road to recovery at Ann Arbor, University of Michigan. Hey, on the road to recovery out in Western Pennsylvania with David Vanasco. What an amazing guy, what an amazing story. What a passionate champion for recovery. Giving these stories of hope to you and so you can share them with other people, giving them hope. David, thanks so much for sitting down with us. Western PA on the road to recovery with David Vanasco.
I grew up in Newcastle, Pennsylvania, and I don't know. My story's a little different. Like I don't come from the bad upbringing. You know, I don't come from the parents that had an addiction to drugs or alcohol. I come from like a good family. You know, my parents were hardworking. They were supportive. Morals and values were real important in my upbringing. You know, I had everything I needed. I don't know, I can tell you in high school, you know, that's kind of where I was introduced to like alcohol and marijuana. And, you know, growing up where I grew up in a little country town called Laurel, it was nothing to go out and have a field party, you know, on a Friday or Saturday night with a, you know, keg of beer and a bonfire. You know, I don't know. I know the first drug I was introduced to was Oxycontin, you know, and I could tell you the first time I did it, I got a sense of this is it, you know. Nobody told me, you know, that this was going to lead me to a 20-year battle with opiates. It didn't tell me that like I was going to be homeless down the road. Nobody told me that you know I would get Hep C from shooting IV use. Nobody told me that like I would put my daughter in the worst situations possible to get the next one. You know, for 20 years I struggled with stopping. I could not stop and stay stopped. You know, I went to. I had to lead, do a lead for a group, and I had to figure out how many treatment centers I've been to, and it's been close to 43 treatment centers. You know, I've been in and out of jail all over the Pennsylvania and Ohio, in and out of, like I said, in and out of treatment centers, psych wards. I've been prayed over. I've been hypnotized. I've went to rapid eye therapy. You know, like anything to try to like help me. You know, and like I said, I could never get it. So I don't know, I went to treatment my last time on my 43rd treatment center, and for once, like, I took suggestions of what the professionals told me, as opposed to doing like Dave's way, you know. I implemented, you know, a recovery program in my life. I implemented church into my life. I got involved with a recovery program, and I still do today. You know, I didn't mention like my clean date's November 20th, 2013. So with like God's grace, I'm coming up on 4 years clean, and that's huge for me because like I said, I couldn't get, you know, 4 minutes. You know, I don't know. I remember, you know, countless times. I call them snapshots that I hold on to. That when the using sounds good, and some days it does. I pull up these snapshots, and that really keeps me from not wanting to do this no more. You know, a couple of them just off the top of my head is like my father got in the way of me in the next one, you know, and I remember like slamming him on the floor, and I remember my hand around his neck, and I remember his glasses were tilted, and I remember the look on his face, you know, the like he's looking at me like, who is this, you know. I'll never forget that. You know, I remember my sister, my younger sister, hiding in her bedroom all the time, and I'd be like, why do you stay in your room so much? And what I came to realize was she was afraid to come out and see the monster in the other room. You know, I keep that. I keep taking my 6-month-old daughter to the set, you know, and I would go cop and do my thing, and I would leave the heat on in the car, and that was my way to justify that she was okay. You know, I would use my dope mixing water to mix my baby's formula up. You know, these are like, when I try to tell you, like, nothing else mattered. I was complete Fort Pitt tunnel on the next one, you know, and I could not see anything else around that. And like I said, I struggled for 20 years. I'd get out of treatment, and it was crazy because the treatment, they coin you out and they all go in a circle and tell you, like, you're going to make it, you know, you're going to do this. And I'd always have the feeling that I was going to do it, you know, and I was going to be okay. And I'd get in a van and they'd drive you home, and I'd see the Newcastle, Pennsylvania sign, and I remember my insides just melting, you know, like I was getting sick, like a roller coaster ride, like here it is all over again. You know, and every time I would just give in to that, and I would use. And I remember the last treatment center I went to, I came home in the van the same way, and I saw a sign, and I was melting like a roller coaster. And for once, I called somebody in recovery, and I said, like, you got to help me, man. You know, and he showed up, and I can tell you by doing that little change, you know. I'm coming up on 4 years clean. You know, today, like, there's things I do on a daily basis to stay clean. You know, I go to meetings. You know, I pray every morning. I pray every night. I stay grateful, and by staying grateful to be clean, that means like I'm putting some action in this. You know, what am I doing to show that I'm grateful? Like I help people struggling with the disease today. You know, I just buried like my best friend to overdose, you know, less than 2 weeks ago. So like the disease is alive and well. But what do? I help people. I sponsor guys. I stay available. You know, I pass on what was given to me. You know, you stop by my house 5 nights a week. It's usually like a little recovery meeting going on in my kitchen. It's wild. Because I know one thing I know for sure is I can't recover by myself. You know, I need help, and I believe we do this.
Hey David, thank you so much for sharing your story with us. We appreciate your time. I'm so grateful to share these stories of hope, inspiration with you on the road to recovery, Western PA. I'm Michael De Leon, and we'll see you on the next episode of On the Road to Recovery.